But your next comic is a comic coming to the stage. Please give a warm round of applause for the very funny Adam Stringer.
How's it going? I never know how to start these things. This is the most awkward part of the night. There's no right way to do it. And I don't know where to put this thing. I have to fly a lot, which is cool, you know. It's the only way to travel, they say. So I have to fly a lot, but the problem is that I'm terrified of flying. I have to sit at the airport bar for about 3 hours before I can work up the courage to get on the plane. I don't know why I decided to become a pilot, guys. I also, flying's better than walking. Flying's a lot better than walking. I got a jaywalking ticket the other day, which is a really dumb law. I didn't know that they still enforce that law. I don't know why they do. I think it's maybe like a money thing. Like I wasn't hurting anybody, you know, I was just walking down the road smoking a J. I don't know. I've also noticed that MILFs are getting a lot younger. Years are going on, MILFs are getting a lot younger. Remember when a MILF was like 30, late 30s, early 40s, you know? Now like a MILF is between like 16 and 19. Like that's a common MILF these days. Remember the movie The Graduate, Miss Robinson? She was a pretty smoking MILF. She was I don't know her. She has a nice hat. Miss Robinson, she was in her late 30s, early 40s. If they remade the movie The Graduate, Miss Robinson would be like 19, 20, if they modernized the movie. I got a ticket for reckless driving. I get a lot of tickets. I got a ticket for reckless driving. The catch is I got this ticket by a bike cop, and I've never really understood bike cops, like the whole purpose of them and everything. Good people, but, you know, like what are bike cops for? Bike cops for like low-speed car chases? Like any car chase under 12 miles an hour, we're just going to call a bike cop in, because, you know, screw a car. And I always feel bad when I see a bike cop. You know, I picture like in the morning when they're all getting issued their vehicle, and they're like, we're going to give you a really fast, cool Mustang to drive all day, we're going to give you a loud crotch rocket to drive. We're going to give you a 10-speed. But don't worry, we're going to put a baseball card in the back tire so it's not this loud noise. No one will notice. No one will notice. But yeah, I got pulled over by a bike cop for what he called reckless driving. And it wasn't reckless driving, I drive that way all the time. And I'm arguing with him, trying to tell him that I'm actually a very, you know, safe, cautious driver. But I was tripping over my words a little bit when I was telling him that. And that wasn't because I was nervous, that was just because I was kind of high like minutes before I'd left the scene of an accident, so I was still a little tripped up from that. But, you know, I gave him that cool spiel and everything, but he still told me he had to bring me down to the station, and I was under arrest. I was like, alright, whatever. But then I remembered that this guy showed up on a bike. And I thought to myself, like, how is he going to get me and him down to the police station on this bicycle? And I didn't want to ask him because I didn't know if that was rude or not. Because he's probably already sore that he has to drive a bike around. But I asked him, I did. I was like, hey man, how do you normally do this? Do I ride in your handlebars? Do you carriage you pull me behind him? Like, am I required to bring him on a bike? Like, what do you do here? And he got kind of mad because he takes his job very seriously. And he's like, no. I got a call for backup. And I was like, oh, backup, that makes a lot more sense. You call for backup, they'll bring a tandem bike over, we'll just ride that to the police station, we'll all be happy. And that made me even more mad, because that's exactly what happened. And then he didn't even help me pedal. Yeah. I go to MCC, that's a pretty cool place, I guess. I try to tell myself that. But I was at MCC at Java's, a little coffee joint, getting some food, and this girl came up to me with a folded napkin and slid it under my plate. And I thought, like, wow, that's really cool. You know, a lot of girls wouldn't do that these days. She saw how sloppy of an eater I am and thought she'd help me out with the napkin, so thank you. But then it confused me, like, when I opened the napkin and saw there was a number inside of it, she told me to call her sometime. I was like, call you sometime? What, for more napkins? Or, like, where are you going with this? And it was later brought to my attention that she was trying to ask me out on a date, but that was a little too subtle for me, so I didn't pick up on it. I felt kind of bad about that. But wouldn't you know, like the same exact thing happened to me a couple weeks later. Like I'm just standing there, and a girl comes up to me with a folded napkin and slides it into my hand. And before she could even say anything, I wasn't going to let her get away. I was like, baby, I would love to go out with you sometime. And she gave me this weird look, and she's like, no, you got some schmutz in your face. So I whipped it off, and I was like, I'll pick you up at 8. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.
cool. Adam Stringer, everybody. Oh yeah. I am the girl in all of these examples.